Morning. This is the 9th of July, 2024, and I've put together an old photo album. This is Jessie Dolliver, and she was the Jessie Dolliver Stafford or Stafford Dolliver, and she was the buyer of the property, the Lake Place. In 1911, she bought it for $10, 25 cents an acre for 40 acres, 1,000 front feet. I know Roger questions that, but what the heck? It is what it is. And she had a daughter, Helen. She also had Uncle Bill, and but but Helen here, the beauty, there she is, another good picture of her. And yet another. We used to come visit us all the time in Cincinnati, Ohio. And she married John Durham. And this is John in his younger years. And this is John older. He was a telegrapher for the Union Pacific Railroad for 50 years. And I don't know whether they ever divorced. I never heard the word divorced, but they never did remarry. And he came to see us often at 2784 Sarita Place also. This is about their marriage and how he was a very popular Laurel man, and married her while she was at the Delta Gamma sorority, and was a very popular young lady. And yeah, everybody's a little surprised, but they are going to end up living in Laurel, Montana. Bought a piece of property that used to be T.R. Holmes's property out there. They had children, the youngest of which was Bob Durham, and he would be out at the Lake Place all the time. He is a eccentric guy. You had to know the Morse code to get into his domicile there at 810 6th Street, and he would make us root beer, and sometimes we'd be in watching TV and hear it explode. I guess we were watching TV. Yeah, we got to do that at their place. Didn't have any TV, didn't have any electricity out at the cabin, but we'd come in every now and then, and he'd have a big garden. We ate snap peas, and oh man, it was really good. And of course, there's my beautiful mother. This is 1940-ish, I would think, in Missoula, Montana. And what a beautiful lady she was. And this is her birth announcement. It says, Care, New York Store, Helena, Montana. Dear Granddad, I arrived 11 this morning, weighing 9 pounds. Woohoo! 21 inches long. Do you think I deserve some roses? And this was Grace Dolliver Durham. Yeah, man. That was a nice little announcement, and I hope it got them the roses they wanted. And this was very interesting. Now I have all this. I got to figure a way to get a YouTube site or a way that you can download these. I got them all digitally now. I need to put them on a website or something so you can like people do for wedding photos, and you can come get what you want off of this I'm just going to display them here on this YouTube video. But this is Great Grandma Markey. I don't know who that is. Maybe Jesse's mother and the great grandma. I don't know. Maybe you can pause and read that, but it's too difficult for me and I don't have enough time to do that. But this is her growing up in Laurel, Montana, little Grace. And this was one of her report cards. She went from 6th to 7th grade. And she went from, I don't know, class A to class B. I think those were just, they had A, B, C, D grade level, not levels, but different classes, I think, at age 12. And looks like cement sidewalk, but a dirt road, doesn't it? In that picture. There she is. I couldn't imagine Neil liking her. And no, man, there she is, really dolled up, 1946-ish. I'm guessing that stuff. If I got it wrong, you need to tell me. We can adjust it. I did send you a link to Photomyne that you could get on and even adjust these, but nobody bothered to get on it. I wouldn't either. I don't want any new apps on my phone. But this is Neil. And he just came back from Germany as a big man on campus. I remember him saying that. Good looking man. He said he taught soldiers how to swim prior to D-Day. And yeah, we went with him to the YMCA after work a lot of days. And that's where I learned how to swim. And here he is getting wedded to my mom. There they are. And I think this is in Texas. Oh, there's a whole article on it. And they're the third and fourth from the left. Here's the article all about it. They were married in a double wedding, and it was a reunion of Montana State University students. Although they didn't go to Montana State, they went to the University of Montana. And that noise you hear in the background is my neighbors. Anyway, Camp Walters is a place. Here they are in Camp Walters, Texas. Here we are at 2784 Sarita Place with our cannon lilies behind us, and all four of us. Peter Norman Ray is on the right. I'm in the middle. Roger, and then above Roger is David Paul, Roger Lau. It was a great place to live, a dead-end street, nice house, lots of kids to play with. Yeah, it was a great place to grow up. And there's David, and David again, and David again. Youngest, born December 13th, 1952. Born again. I mean, there he is. I haven't had my first cup of coffee. I got to get up and do this in the dark because otherwise I get a glare on my television screen. Probably when he was at Walnut Hills High School photo. And there's me with a little acne. And then I think this is my senior picture. And there's Peter. We didn't have any kid pictures. This is when he's already out doing his artwork. I don't know whether he's at the Carnegie Mellon or whether he's probably, you would need to tell me. Norman Ray, now Peter. Good looking young man. And very talented. This was the little green cabin, I think right after I got it, because the rollout tar paper Rusty put on there when I inherited the cabin. You could lay on the bed and see the sky through the roof, so it was in bad shape, and we kind of turned that around. Not kind of, we did. This is Grace and Neil when they really liked each other after they retired, I think. Man, they were no doubt that they loved us, both of them. And they made a go of it out there in Idaho. Neil quit his job and went on out there with her, and they had the fireman laugh. Yep, 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 they did. And this was their house site. She loved the different changing colors of this tall, I don't even know what kind of tree it is. It is right in front of the, I don't know, Roger might have cut it down, but it used to be right in front of in the view of the big house that they put in. This is the same sort of shot from in a different season, and this is them building their house there. 1953, Mr. Walls of DeMay Walls, just next to us there on the lake. And Peter did a really nice job, Dad, this boat. And this is how he winterized it, just pulled it up on the beach. That's all he had. Probably used a winch. And here's Roger, got lots of pictures of Roger, Linda, Paul, and Carolyn here. I'm not going to say much. I'm just going to flick through them. You can get all these. If you don't have them, Roger and Linda, on whatever website we decide I can put them out onto. They're good pictures. 2 years old. I think that's just 2 candles on there. There might be 3. My eyes aren't so good anymore. Yeah, fun times. They spent a good deal of time out in Idaho. This, I would guess, is I don't know where. Probably Disneyland. And a bunch of Paul. You can stop this, take a closer look at each of these too. Good looking kids, smart kids, highly successful kids. Riding Roger in the bathtub with, I don't know who that is, preschool. And Neil and Grace, you can see Grace has Parkinson's by this time. She's got that little tissue she would have prevent herself from drooling. And this is out on their front porch of the big house. I'm saying that's Verna. I don't know. And Roberta's daughter, Christine, I think. I don't remember. And there's Roberta in the middle and Verna, flanked by Mom and Roger and Paul and Carolyn. And I forget the young man's name. I went to his wedding even down there at Shadow Beach, but I don't remember. Roger would remember. You could put it in here. I sent you, you're an editor. You could put it in this photo album. We can put in all sorts of comments if you want. And there you are with Bob on the right here. And there's Mom and Dad and Roger and 2 grands. I guess Linda's taking the photo. And they were set up nice to enjoy the grandchildren. And they did for several years before Mom got too sick to do it. Yeah, this was nice. And there they are on the beach having a picture of, I'm saying, apple juice or cider. And this is my lovely wife, United Stewardess, before I met her. This is me getting my master's degree in systems management from Troy State University. I enjoyed that education. Hurlburt Field, Fort Walton Beach, Florida, sandy beaches were beautiful there, and we buried Eric all the way. And of course, we had the same Christmas tradition we were brought up with, and I'm talking to my brothers right now. Uh, blindfold them, bring them in, get them something to eat, build that anticipation. Parents did that really well. Of course, Eric loves his little sister. This is Kathy and I re-upping our vows then, uh, with Cora and Mike on our right and Gary Heckman on our left. I don't know where all this is, but the Lois, Beth in the foreground there. Timothy, a dog we had there, and Eric riding me, and Eric was a happy young man, us getting ready for Christmas in our jammies. We had a flat bottom John boat there that was lots of fun. We went out into the sound there. We were like a stone's throw from our house to the sound. And then this back up in Coeur d'Alene with Dumais getting his dock put in. This was a big deal. So we're all down on our dock watching it happen with the boat tucked right in there. Life was good for him for many years. I think that must be Peter there with that hair and all. I don't know. And I don't know who the young lady is next to him. Maybe Carol. Anyway, Paul and Carolyn in the foreground, I'm saying. Here we are out and back with the apple press, and we bring the apples down and wash them up and then squeeze the juice out of them and use the pulp for applesauce. We really had a thing going. This is up on the property I bought up off of Lofts Bay, Old Beard Homestead, and we're looking through with valuables. Eric's standing there with a homemade metal detector that Bob made, trying to see if we could find anything. We didn't. We ended up burning it just to clear it and make it a place where I could have a little bit of a meadow right down there next to the road. And a Yanmar tractor we got from Witzo when he upgraded to his John Deere. And Dad and I used the brush hog and the front end loader a bunch. Mary ended up buying it from me. The way it went is Dad bought it from Witzo and took out a loan to do it. And then after he paid about a quarter of the loan, he said, hey, you can have this tractor if you take over payments. So I did, and I paid it off. And then when Mary and Neil moved to Highland Drive, Mary bought it back from me, $2,500 or so. It was all pretty fair and legal, and I know Peter had questioned who owns the tractor, but that's the story. And we would go through all the slash piles and wood, and I'd cut out the stuff that he could burn, because he went through 10 cords a year. I'm saying, even though that's got curly hair, looks like curly hair, that guy, that's David, I think. I'm not certain. Anyway, yeah, we would cut out the big stuff. We'd burn all the rest, and then we'd go in for a haircut. Always liked getting my hair cut from Grace. It was just a nice experience. My little ones with some of Neil's rabbits, they both got one the summers they'd go out there. And this is Bob and Helen and Neil and Grace working on that rock wall behind the big house. I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is. Might be Anne. I don't know. David's girlfriend. I don't know who these guys are. I don't know who these guys are. And I really don't know who this person is. Anyway, that's what I got for you. I hope you enjoyed. out here.